Welcome to another episode of Seed Wheat. I'm Kirian, and I have on the platform Mr. Eno himself. Eno, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
You look a bit tired. Is everything all right?
A lot has been happening throughout the week, good and bad stuff, and some ugly stuff as well. So it's just weighs one down.
Mr. Ayo,
Yo,
Kwata Pikin, Tico Pikin.
practical picking for life. You already know.
Tico be proud of you, eh?
Always.
The way the function.
Always. They know.
Original
They
Tico
one of my
Pikin this
people. They one of my people.
Nothing good to Tico but through him.
Oh, man, come on. I beg.
That's right.
Anyway, we want to thank everybody for the support. We want to thank everyone for showing up and showing out because the numbers are increasing with every drop. So we want to thank everyone. Because of you, the church is moving. So we are back with another episode. Today we are talking about PDD 2.0. There's something brewing in Africa now. He's turning the pots in Africa. Equatorial Guinea, which is just on the other side of the river in Cameroon.
El Malabo.
We've got a figure. This guy, they need for Billy, a statue for Malabo there for some runabout.
A legend.
Only ones of whoop. They put condom for hell and chapeau. Girlfriend
Legend.
wounded.
Yeah.
And we are talking about Grand Balthazar Ebong. In name sound like Ebang, man.
Engonga.
Grand friend, he leave any stone unturned. He mash all thing from ground up. Balthazar, he rape na president for Semak. Hey, grand friend hold am. And I be CEO of Anif. Grand friend hold Pepe News. Anyway, he was involved in some kind of an investigation. We don't know if it's fraud or we don't have the specifics yet. But the manager for national finance had some of his personal things confiscated from his office. So in his belongings, they found out that he's been doing some mystical things in his office and other private spaces. And the grand frère, all he doing is he the record up. So they found out about 400 sex tapes in his office. And those tapes, he recorded very prominent people of the society. Some Cameroonians, some Guineans or Equatorial Guineans.
The Cameroonians?
Yeah, Cameroonians were also there. He brushed from the head of presidential security. He brushed a woman, Mr. Anna Edumoto. Yeah, my name is never fear. He brushed the manga.
Why put your hands on me? Why did you tell me?
He pinned me. I'm in severe pains. I'm not in severe pains. I'm in severe pains.
He brushed Minister of Mines and Hydrocarbon, Mr. Oburu. He brushed his wife. He go as far as brush his junior brother wife. Then he brush his uncle pregnant wife. The girlfriend. But now the funny thing is, right, all this thing no will go anywhere as far as the sex tape be concerned, because all the women, the way he get consensual sex with them, they were all aware of. Because if you watch some of the videos, you need to dig deep until you find gold before you see the tapes. All the women were aware. So on that front, nothing can happen to him, because this is not the first time we've heard this. Many, I don't want to call names, but many women them for high positions them from where we come from, they involve themselves in certain activities just like this. But why they so? Now say that men them too busy when they satisfy them, then they look for Mr. Ebang for do their work for them, or how?
Well, any man get a reason for any action we take Um, I won't say it's because of the busy schedule of their husbands that is causing them to behave this way. Some women too, it might be because of material reasons. So women are materialistics. They just go after. I don't think if that Balthazar man was not Balthazar as in having all that position he has and all the money, all those women would have come to him. I believe even among these women, there are some that came because of the soup. No matter how comfortable they are in their homes or in their relationships, they see somewhere better. And we know women like comfort, women love luxury, women love. And some of these people, some of these women, when a man discovers a woman's weakness is material things and he has them, it's obvious that he's going to use what he has to have what he needs, to get what he needs. So I just think I cannot blame their husband. In the other hand too, you can also say maybe because in their marital homes or in their relationship they are not satisfied with their husbands or their spouse or their partner. They look outside, but you cannot blame them. We are adults. Everybody's responsible for their actions. They have their individual reasons why they went for him, and that's left for them to justify. Who are we to judge or criticize?
The thing, oh man, come on. See, the thing is, when I say things like this, when I saw that the clips and when I first saw the news, I asked myself one question: how come only a particular caliber of people appear in those clips? And what is the correlation between the caliber of those people and his own position in the Equatorial Guinean economy and the Equatorial Guinean society? Now, and if it's the Agence Nationale d'Investigation Financière, that is a national agency for financial investigations, right? It's kind of like the Anti-Corruption Commission in Cameroon. So if he is the Director General of the Anti-Corruption Commission and Equatorial Guinea, which also ranks amongst one of the highest, one of the most corrupt countries in the world, Africa and the world, then it shows that the system is massively corrupt and he's using his position as blackmail. Because the only conclusion that I came to was blackmail. Because most of those people, like almost everybody in those tapes, were people who occupied prominent positions in the country. And so he is the person who is in charge of investigating those people. Probably he had something which could send them to jail, or he had information of their corrupt activities and he used it as leverage to have the encounters that he had with those women. You understand? And we said, yes, the tapes were consensual because it's on tape. It's on tape, so it's consensual. What happened behind the scenes? Probably he was using it to save his own skin, so they cannot charge him for rape or sexual assault. Okay? So it's easy. I investigate you. I say, listen, I know you have siphoned 200 billion CFA francs or 70 billion CFA francs. There's only one condition: unless I'm taking this to the president and you're going to jail for the rest of your life. If you don't sleep with me, I will make a video on it to keep it against
I
you.
don't think so.
Because bro, the country is massively corrupt. How?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not
if you take it, okay, take an example of them. Each of them, they all have dirt on them. Take an example of Cameroon. An example of if you take our country as an example.
This is habit.
No. It is just. It can be.
I'm not sure all those 400 women are just
I'm saying
colleagues.
not only colleagues. He is in charge of investigating financial crimes in the entire country of Equatorial Guinea. So it means everybody that has any link with money or every public official is under his investigation.
Yeah.
You understand?
I don't think
so. If he has dirt, there is no other. What kind of explanation? It is either blackmail or it is a sect where He is one of the conditions. No. He is like, he can be a godfather in the country.
Anything.
Yeah, he can be a godfather in the country.
You watch those videos, for those who have watched it, I didn't see any frowning face. They were all very happy.
That's what it is. It can still be a condition to
And
fulfill.
they gave their consent because
It can
they are
be-
even watching the clips
Yes,
themselves.
it can be a condition to
They were
fulfill
watching
before.
they're looking at the camera themselves and
Listen up.
positioning it.
It can be a condition to fulfill before you get to a particular level. Okay, we are talking about PDD. PDD is a little bit different because it was dealing with guys, right? And some of the guys didn't want to have, that kind of relationship with a guy as well. Okay, but this is the opposite gender. Okay, despite the fact that, okay, maybe they are married, the act is also pleasurable to the both genders. So it can still be a condition for you to get to a particular situation. We all know what happened in our schools, teachers and students. We all know what happened in our police service. We all know what happened in our civil service. So for a person who has that type of a position, you understand, who is a director general of the of National Financial Investigation Agency, you can imagine the power he commands. Okay, it's just like the director of ENAM in Cameroon. If you hear something about a director of ENAM in Cameroon, God forbid you hear such a thing in Cameroon, but imagine you hear something about the director of ENAM in Cameroon. You will just understand that it is because of his position. If not, it will be difficult to have.
Some of
to
the
find out
women,
such a
some
thing.
of the women whose husbands hold a high position in the government, right? The women don't have positions, and they were involved in that act.
That's
So
where
how
the
can you
bla-
justify
that's where the
that? Is it
blackmail
that
comes in.
is it that the men send their women to satisfy him?
Yeah, to satisfy him, to keep the money in the family. It happens. They sacrifice somebody. It's like taking one for the team. You and your husband, you are enjoying billions. Okay, your husband is a minister. You are both enjoying billions. You're flying to Dubai and everywhere. Your husband tell you, look, this person has this debt and us. If not, I'm going to jail. Everything will be taken from this country, from our family. The only condition, have sex with him and you record it, and that is our secret. It ends there. You don't know what these people do to keep their secrets.
It could be this, it could be that, it could be.
Yeah, it could still be that it is jazz.
All these are just assumptions.
Of course, it could still be jazz because it's inconceivable that those people can
Money and good look doesn't matter.
for 400
He's a
women
good looking. He's a good looking
videotaping
guy, and he's got money.
and videotaping 400 married. No.
Those are even the ones on tape. What about the ones that were not
What about the
taped?
ones that we don't know? What about the people? No, he is not even the person in charge of the finances. He's just in charge of the investigation. It's just like the
He's
attorney
in charge
general.
of the investigation, but his father holds a higher position.
His father is the chairman of CEMAC. The chairman of CEMAC is like you cannot say the ambassador, the UK ambassador to European Union, when at the time they were, makes more money than the UK finance minister. He just has a position. Or you can say the the attorney general of the UK makes more money than the finance minister. So if you see the attorney general of the UK and the finance minister's wife having something, you can 1 + 1 can give you 11.
Sometimes it's not even about. Sometimes it's not even about the amount that you hold in your bank. Sometimes it depends on the root of your connection.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe the father or him, he has a deep root to uphold certain positions and have the type of influence to bet those type of women. Why is it that people who are supposed to, set an example for the rest of the country, they behave in a certain way?
Upbringing. No, I'm just.
Yes. No. It's a combination of the poor upbringing, the poor background, and also the massive corruption that happens in the system, in the day-to-day system. I'll give an example, right? I have a friend who is now in the US. I don't want to mention her name, but she was posted to teach in one village somewhere around Bafusam. Okay, I was in university with her. And the day she went to take assumption of duty, I think that's how they call it, she met one other colleague who was posted. So they went to the principal's office, that school, that same day. The guy looked at the principal in the face and told him, I just came to see if this place is good enough for me to stay here. But I will not stay here. So I will not work here. Don't expect me to work here. I'm going. A person that was posted as a teacher telling the principal of the school, he told the principal to his face. And she said she stood there and she had chills. And a week later, The boy's name appeared. He was sent, he was reposted to the delegation of secondary education in Bafoussam. South Africa. You understand? So those behaviors come from their background because they know that there is no meritocracy. Everything that they've achieved, everything that they've learned has come from corruption. So they will keep on doing it because everybody else does it. The people above them have been doing it for years. They are just barely copying and following in the footsteps.
I think this guy has contracted some form of STD and he's just trying to spread it. There was this guy that had intercourse with a lot of women, and it was posted. He had videos of his engagements, he had photos, and it was posted on Facebook. So I'm trying to compare that to this.
No, but if you look at the stats, right, someone who has an STD, right, well, it might be okay, but if you look at the stats of someone who has an STD, you'll see that he would take tall, short, slim, fat, fair, dark, rich, poor, everybody. He can. If he's somebody who contacted STD from a random lady, and he wants to revenge and spread it to as much ladies as he can, he would sleep with any person he can. But if you look at the caliber of these people, it is a particular class of people.
Yeah, it's a particular majority. Majority is a particular class, but there are some. It's stated there on the news when I was following up. It stated there that there were also some young women who don't have any position too among those numbers.
Yeah, who don't have top position.
Who don't know. There are some women who are not even working. They're just part of the videos. You see, so majority of them are ministers, women, and stuff like that. But there are also women who didn't have any position.
Who are wannabes.
He didn't only have intercourse with women from his office. He also had intercourse with women. He would park his car somewhere in the dark and also do those type of things.
If you have the opportunity to meet a minister, because his position is a position of a minister, or more than even a minister, like an attorney general, if I have a position to meet a director general of a national agency, then those are wannabes. Those are high level, I don't know, escorts. To meet somebody of that nature, to have that type of relationship with that person, it's a simple thing. We know what happens with ladies that meet people in various places.
There was the thing is, most of these African leaders, their children behave in a very bad way. There was this video I watched. There was another guy. I don't know if he's from Senegal or one of those French countries. He slapped someone. The president's son. He slapped someone at the airport, and he was shouting everywhere. I think the video was on BBC. Then lately, the president of Somali, Hassan Sheikh, the son killed a motorcyclist in Turkey, and he didn't even wait for the verdict. He ran away from the country and went back to Somalia. Then, he was supposed to be convicted for 3 years when the verdict was given. Now they converted because in Turkey they have a system where you can convert your sentence to a fine. For the death of someone, it was converted to £700.
700 pounds.
700 pounds.
Is that how cheap life has become?
That's why there was a strike that verdict was not correct, and the father made a speech, and probably because of the connection between both countries and everything just died down like that. The only sentencing that he had was his driving license was revoked for 6 months.
But a lot of things must have passed in the background, because things like diplomatic things like this, there are concessions they make in the background that they don't bring it to the open. Okay, those are, I think it's expected. Those are secrets. They are diplomatic secrets that happen.
But now we cannot.
Bad, ugly, it happens in the
what
background.
What happened in the background, we don't know.
We cannot know.
We don't know.
Because
so we are talking about what we have seen, and what was on the news.
The behavior of most of these our African leaders is deplorable, right? But I will not generalize it to all African leaders. Okay, I know that
I said most of the African leaders.
I know that the daughter of the President Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, I know he has a very, very powerful daughter she studied in Rwanda most of her life. She studied in Rwanda, and she's championing a lot of activities, to the youth development and empowerment in Rwanda. I think her name just skipped my mind. Okay, I also know about the president of Mozambique, their child. So I think a lot of the ones that those emerging countries that you see their leaders are trying to do something good for their countries and their countries are struggling to emerge. You can see the behavior of their offsprings. But if you come to our own type of countries, unfortunately, where we are not emerging, but we are wallowing in corruption and poverty, you can see the difference in the behaviors of our leaders' kids. So I think it comes from our leaders and they pass it down to their offsprings. Because if you're talking about the first daughter of Rwanda, you can see it from the president of Rwanda, what he's doing for his country. So you can see the daughter picks it up. You know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So what the leader is doing, you can see it.
So Bree is learning from the.
Who is Brie?
You know, I'll go back with a pay.
I don't talk no nothing. Don't be me. I talk am. Oh, now you talk am. I didn't say anything. Please, I didn't say anything.
Man say who is Brie?
Why are you scared?
I didn't say nothing. Let me tell you something. I didn't say nothing.
Bree is nobody's slave.
Okay, but we are making it look funny because it's that is bringing shame to a whole nation. Equatorial Guinea should have been one of the countries that is well respected in Africa because the population is very small. Imagine in 2015, where Cameroon, we had the incident in Ezeka, where we had a train accident in Ezeka. That was an accident. And I remember how the image of Cameroon was tarnished, how bad people looked at us, how much people laughed at us in international community. So imagine an act of this magnitude that has to do with government officials, people that are supposed to represent the country, being found in such compromising situations. That's appalling. It's a disgrace. It's a complete and utter disgrace. It's shameful.
Now, this guy has devoured many women and destroyed a lot of families. So, from now on, we'll be seeing many divorces.
Did he force them? What do you mean by devour and destroy? He didn't force them.
He's destroyed lots of
It's
families.
because he came to the public. It's because they brought it to the public. He didn't force them.
How do you know?
How did I do?
How do you know that he didn't force
How
them?
many of the women have come out to say, look at what happened to PDG? Even people that were not involved in the situation, people of 2001, 2002 are coming out now that he did this to me, he did this to me. They were not happy when it happened. How many of these victims have come out to say he forced me? Or is it today they think him?
Europe or America
Listen,
don't function like Africa. You know, many women, even if that happens to
So
them,
I need a
it will be
system to
difficult.
express my emotions.
Yeah, you cannot express yourself like that in our own type of democracy that we have
listen,
over there.
when you go
people are afraid of their lives.
When people are afraid of their lives.
See, when you go to our offices, right?
This is emotional damage we're talking about, man.
There are most offices in most of our African countries where when you go and you meet people in those offices, they are just angry for no reason. Because these are some of the kind of prices that they have to pay to get to those positions. So it bothers them. But they have no evidence to prove that they were forced because it was a condition. But because you don't want to be jobless, you need a promotion in your job or whatever, or you need a job or you need whatever, you make that sacrifice, okay? But you were not forced. You were not, probably coerced somehow, but you can't prove it. You can't go and say he forced me, he did it, because the choice was placed before you. You took the choice, which ordinarily, if there was meritocracy, you would not take it. But because there is no other option, you take it. And at the end of the day, you cannot debunk it. Okay? You cannot debunk. This PDD is up. How many people in the Hollywood have said he forced me, apart from the underage people?
Most of these PDD accusations involve men. And you know, men will not come and say another man abused me. Will you come up and say to a bunch of men that another man abuse you?
If my name was
There
brought
is-
up in the topic and I have
Bro,
to
there is
clarify
this-
things,
there is this-
why won't you say
See,
it?
there is this
To
Nigerian
save
actor,
yourself?
right?
Why would you say it?
There's this
You want to
Nigerian
die and go
actor.
to the
I
grave
watched.
and
I
he
watched.
stays alive and because of
I watched an
emotional
interview.
damage,
There's this Nigerian actor,
emotional
Kunle Remy.
distress.
This guy that was a star actor in Anikulapo.
Why use me for an example, please? That really Smith.
Kunle Remy said. Kunle Remy said, at the time when he was still starting his career in acting, it was in the beginning. Some man called him and said, "I'll make you a star. I'll do you this. I'll do you this." The man gave him a candle, gave him baby oil, and said, "You have to." So he was in such a position, and he said he ran for his dear life.
Baby oil has been around for ages.
Yes, and his career stalled. Yes, he said he know the battles he had to fight for his career. His career stalled a lot. Okay, and immediately he gave that interview. The movie, he was a star actor. He was the main character in that Anikulapo. That movie got almost 30 nominations, but he was nominated for 0 because of that interview. So it's been going on for long. Sometimes people are put in positions where you can't even come and complain because it was given to you as a choice. Though you hate the choice, but you cannot prove that you were forced.
Now that these things are coming up to the limelight, what's the way forward? How do you think we can, us as Africans, how do you think we can come up with preventive measures to stop this from happening?
I think first, the government has to put a very strict rule, maybe even a death sentence if they see any person doing such rubbish in the public office again. And not that that's aside, but honestly, I think the government really has to put in strengthen more laws concerning this type of situations and things like this. You have this is a very delicate situation, and also it has a lot
It's
of.
not a criminal
No,
offense.
I'm not saying it's a criminal. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That's why that I'm very cautious with the choice of what I'm using, because I know very well that it's not a criminal offense and these women were adults. That's why I said public office. The only offense I see in this thing with this man doing this stuff is that he does them in public office. This is a government office, for Christ's sake. You can do them outside, do yourself and stuff. It's okay, it's cool, it's your choice, it's your life.
Our laws are well explained in our constitutions. They frown upon things like that. But the thing is, the people perpetrating this kind of acts are people that are high and mighty in our societies. So if we have social justice in our country, where nobody will be above the law, then things like this can be curtailed. But until our
As humans,
country
you
is
cannot-
rigged to
as humans,
corruption,
you cannot determine where you have an urge and how you have to scratch the itch.
take a break and go
I'll
home.
advise
Take a break and go home. Get a hotel or anything. You are a minister, not only in your office.
Society should look for one very dark man in every African country.
You black man, you very damn well for
I
China.
used to dark man.
No, if you go gym now. If you go gym.
No.
Thank God, say I know about black.
Listen, me, I'm dark and not black.
Enjoy.